Hey everybody, welcome to another YouTube Hangout. Super excited to be here. Today I've got a special guest, a new friend, Felipe, who's going to introduce himself shortly, but we're going to be talking about how gratitude can change your life. And for those of you who are the hardcore fans, I've actually started a new gratitude stream every morning for 10 minutes from 9 a.m. to 9:10 a.m. We talk about 3 things that we're grateful for the day. I do mine. And then also encourage you guys to share yours. So this theme is really timely, and super excited to share some wisdom about it. Felipe, welcome aboard. Felipe's webcam is having some issues, so we're just going to go audio only. But Felipe, if you can maybe just quickly introduce yourself to the audience so they know a little bit more about what you're all about.
Hello guys, this is Felipe Dib from Brazil. Hi Evan, very nice to be here with you. And I'm from a small city in Brazil, a frustrated English student, and then became a professor, an English professor, and right now with 20 million classes taught for students in 181 countries through vocêaprendeagora.com, which means you learn now.
Love it. So let's talk about gratitude. Why is it so important to you? And what's your kind of first question around it?
Okay. For the Evans fans, I'm going to ask him 5 questions now and share with our students from Você Aprende Agora, Tu Aprendes Agora, and You Speak Now around the world. Even when you say believe, I'm sure there is a lot of gratitude in it. But before getting to the believe part of my questions, I'd like you to tell us about your origin, where you come from, your childhood, your hobbies. I know many of those guys who are listening to us now are your fans and they know, but people from Você Aprende Agora and our audience in these countries around the globe don't know you a lot, and they'll get to know you right now. What's your origin? Where you come from? Your childhood?
All right, we're going back in history. I'm Canadian. I'm born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Moved around a lot, visited a number of different countries, I guess, in my time. But born and raised here. My mom was an immigrant from Italy. She's on. For the people watching the video, you can see them behind me. That's me in the middle. My parents beside me. She came here as an immigrant. Looking for a better future. My father's been here for 6 generations, so he's Canadian through and through. Growing up, I was a normal kid, I guess. I found my entrepreneurial calling, I think, a little bit early. I was 5 years old and convinced my 3-year-old little sister to come draw pictures with me and then sell them to our neighbors for 5 cents or 10 cents.
That's great.
A stand where I tried to turn raisins into grapes. Didn't realize that it was the other way around, and the grapes turned into raisins. I sold baseball cards and had my own little initiatives growing up, but I didn't have an entrepreneurial family. And so in my high school yearbook, I said I wanted to be a banker. I thought I was going to be a banker. And then I connected with 2 entrepreneurs at university and decided to work with them and not pursue, the high-paying banking jobs that I had opportunities with, to test this out and try it. My first company, I sucked at the start. I was 19 years old. We were failing. I was making $300 a month, and managed to turn that business around in 3 years. We got acquired. We had customers in 30 countries. Sold to companies like NASA,
That's
Johnson
nice.
Johnson.
Which company was that?
It was a biotech software company that we started, and then we got. I actually didn't start it. I became an owner of the business, but my 2 partners started it, and I joined. I went from there to a venture capital business, raising $500,000 to $15 million for companies to grow. And then mostly just because I was interested in venture capital, I never had to raise it, so I just wanted to know about it. And then I started this business, helping out entrepreneurs. Started with my website, and then more recently transitioned to focusing on YouTube.
When was it even? First, you started your website after this more focused in business itself. Then when was the time you launched your website?
I was 22 when I launched my website. And then when I started on YouTube, I don't know, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. How old am I now? I'm 36. So I guess 28, 29, 30, somewhere in there when I started.
Man, you don't look 36 at all. I would say, well, 22, so he started 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm 36. I have a son. Hobbies. I like salsa dancing. A little bit of foho. I haven't done that in a while though.
Nice.
Entrepreneurship. League of Legends. That's it.
Okay. Even why did you start Believe? Why did you start this channel on YouTube? Because you told me you started your website. When did you decide going on YouTube, and why?
I did not have a big master plan when I started on YouTube. I was getting a lot of questions that people were emailing me based off my website and say, hey, Evan, I have this business. What do you think? Or can you help? Or do you have any ideas? And so I would spend time writing email responses back. And they would take me, 30 minutes to write back. It was a full detailed response. And I just got too many. It's flattering. It's flattering to get lots of emails, and I was really grateful for people caring and that my opinion meant something to them. But it got to the point where it took too much time to do, and I was getting a lot of the same questions coming at me consistently. So I thought, why not just put some of these videos up on my YouTube channel? So my YouTube channel started as one modeling success, so successful entrepreneurs that I looked up to, and just sharing some of their stories because those stories helped inspire me. And there wasn't a good collection online on YouTube of famous entrepreneur stories. And then evolved to me just answering people's questions about business. But I didn't have a goal to have 1 million subscribers, or, it wasn't something I was really tracking. It was really just, I wanted to be able to give back and contribute. And test out this video thing and save myself some time from being able to have to answer questions. And I thought for every person who is writing with a question, there's 1,000 more who didn't take the time to write, or didn't have the courage, or didn't know me. And so if I put that content up there, then other people will be able to benefit from it as well. And really the whole thing started from me being frustrated as an entrepreneur and almost failing, and telling my partner I quit and almost wanting to give up, and how hard it was going through that early stage of my business, that I didn't want others to have to suffer through it. And I was hoping that through the lessons I learned, I could share, and hopefully people wouldn't have to go through the pain that I did. That was the reason behind the website. That was my real first entry into the helping entrepreneur business, I guess. And then it just evolved into a YouTube channel.
I see. And even you make a lot of top 10 rules for success videos, and I've watched most of them.
Okay.
And they're very nice.
What's your favorite?
Man, I have, let me see. I remembered Steve Jobs, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Some days ago, I watched Stallone's, Robert De Niro. Steve Jobs is very nice too. Bruce Lee is very nice. And I'd like to ask you, are those videos from Bruce Lee real? When he gets that, I don't know, that gun, and he lights the matches. Are those videos real, man?
It's an old, I think it was a Nokia commercial or something. So we found out after that it was they doctored footage to make it look like it.
Okay.
But it's good. I'm glad you're a fan of the channel. Okay, so yeah, you've been watching the top 10s.
Yeah, and then you started doing the top 10 rules for success. And what is very nice from my point of view is that through through these stars speeches, you get the message. How do you understand they have that message? So have a clear vision, or believe, or dream big, or do not dream so big, like think of the next step. You are the one who understand this message behind their words. How was the start of it, and how do you feel doing it now?
So the start of it was, I wanted something for myself. I wanted to push myself. I felt like the people around me I love, but weren't pushing me to be a better version of me. And so I wanted to surround myself with some of the best ideas. And I had always had success when I looked at famous entrepreneurs from my first business from 19, looking up to what people had done and being inspired by it. And I felt motivated and moved by it. And so I did it for me to continue to have, I felt like these guys pushed me. And I felt like if I spend a little bit more time studying Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or Bill Gates or any of these guys that you talk about.
Elon Musk is very nice too, yeah.
Right?
Elon Musk really is nice.
If we spend a little bit more time with them, then some of their ideas, their values, their way of thinking would rub off onto me. And I think a lot of us have a limiting mindsets in a lot of different areas. In seeing how successful people think and work and do their business, I think we can learn a lot from, because a lot of people at least don't have those people in our lives on a regular basis. So if you look at your family or your parents or grandparents or cousins or whatever, we love them, but if they haven't had the success that we want, then it's hard to model them. It's hard to copy them. It's hard to know what to do. And so that's why I started it. It was for me selfishly, and thankfully by sharing it, you guys like it as well. And I wanted something consistent. I wanted to learn from different people who the common thread at the start was always entrepreneurship, and now we've expanded. So it's athletics, it's musicians, it's all over the place, but it's people who've had success, who've reached the top of their field, and trying to pull out lessons from them. So if you could sit down with Elon Musk for 15 minutes and say, give me your best stuff, that's what he would say. And so when we're making a video, I never know what's going to come out. Sometimes there are people that I've never heard of before too.
Oh yeah?
A lot of people I've never heard of. A lot of especially the non-North American entrepreneurs.
Nice.
I've never heard of these people. And it's great for me too to get awareness. And some people surprised me too, like Denzel Washington had a great top 10 that I didn't.
Oh, I did. I saw this one. I think he said, insist until you get it.
Yeah, I know Denzel. I know I've seen his movies, but I didn't expect much. I didn't have any understanding of what he was about going in. And he had a lot of really great, important points that are relevant, not just for actors, but for people of all walks of life. No matter what you're doing, you can learn from that video. So when I'm going into making a video, I don't know what I'm going to get. It's just by what we do is take, 20 hours of Elon Musk footage and condense it down to the best 15 minutes that at least that we found moving. Stuff that he said that was interesting for us, that made me think, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I should apply it here. And we throw away the other, 19 hours and 45 minutes to try to give entrepreneurs and anybody, I guess now, a sense of what it takes to be successful. And hopefully a lot of the messages are the same, but you hear it in different ways. The way Denzel say it might be different than Bruce Lee, might be different than Bill Gates, but a lot of the messages focus around the same things. And so hearing it from different people constantly, because you may be hearing the opposite from the people in your life. And so hearing it from these successful people, right? Hearing it consistently, that's what forms the change. If you watch one video from Steve Jobs, great. Maybe that sparks a change, but chances are you'll watch it, you'll be inspired, and then the next day you'll be back to your regular life, because there's so much other people and media around you that keep you where you are, keep you thinking small. But if you're watching it every day, you can't help but start to change and start to absorb and start to accept some of the wisdom and start to apply it. And for me, like, again, it's for me. And I would do it even if nobody was watching, because I need it for me, for my growth. And I'm just super grateful that we're talking about gratitude here. I'm super grateful that people watch it, they like it, they're moved by it. So that's the origin, and I still love it. Like, I still love doing it. It's still, you know, I review every video before it comes out. I'm filming at the start and end of every video. I still love doing it. If I stopped loving it, or if I stopped feeling like I was growing, then I would move on to something else.
Nice, nice. So guys, our students who are watching this video now, what Evan is saying is about the number of videos, of high quality videos he publishes constantly. I think every day, right, Evan?
Yeah, there's at least 3 videos every day.
At least 3 videos every day. So this is content. You not only practice your English, but also get inspired and get moved to action. And also to believe in your dreams, to believe in yourself. Even moving ahead to from this topic of the top 10 rules for success videos that you made, I know many of those rules are constantly repeated. I know many of them think about the same topics. I'd like to ask you, if you know by heart, what are the top 10 most frequent rules for success?
We actually make a combination of these. So every Friday, no, is it Friday? No, let me see. I think it's every Saturday now. It used to be Friday. Let me just check so I'm sending you the right info.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday. Saturday at 8 p.m. What we do is we combine all of the most common rules into one video, and then you see all the people saying it. So for example, like have passion. Have passion is something that's going to come up consistently. Whether you're an athlete, an entrepreneur, an inventor, a musician, you have to have passion for your work if you want to be successful. And so the video might be called Passion, and then it shows you 10 different people talking about how important passion was to them. And so every Saturday at 8 o'clock Eastern, New York, Toronto time, we have that video that brings together the most common ones. I wanted to quickly touch on something you said in passing about practicing your English. And this is something that I'm super grateful for. When my mom came from Italy to Canada, she didn't know English. And she learned English by watching TV shows, American TV shows. And that's how she eventually learned English.
Nice.
And it's the number of people who've left comments on my channel saying that they are learning English by watching the videos.
Oh, really?
Is amazing. And for me, it's a full circle moment. It's something I'm extremely grateful for, because I think about my mom and how that's how she learned the language, and now I'm able to provide that to the next generation of not even immigrants, just people who want to improve their English.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to learn a language when you're interested in the content.
For sure, for sure.
Right? If you're just studying from a textbook, it's going to be super hard to pick up the language. Where if you're listening to something that Steve Jobs is saying, like, oh, what was that sentence? I don't understand those 4 words. I have to go look it up because I need to understand what he said.
Yeah.
It really makes you better at the language. And so that's something I'm really proud of and really grateful for. It wasn't intentional. I didn't expect this to happen, but it's great to see it happen. And I just think of my mom every time we see one of those comments come in.
Nice, nice. Even I know you have your video for the top 10 rules for success that was made by your family, I think. But I'd like you to comment with our students if you can say your top 5, if not the 10, the top 5 rules for success you have and why you have them.
It's funny it's one of the most requested videos, is people want to see my top 10. And my team, it was a combination of my team and my family that made the video, and just fans. Tamara Weeks did a lot of work. She's a hardcore fan. Jay Rise did a lot of work. He's part of my team and a hardcore fan. My wife was involved. So yeah, people have been asking for it, and since I didn't want to make it, they ended up doing it for me. So it's worth watching. I don't remember what I said on there, but in terms of common things that I believe in, one, back to the passion. That's always what I default to, is you have to have passion for your work, whatever you're doing. And not even your work, like you have to have passion in life. You have to have, if you're in a relationship, you have to have passion. You know, whatever you do, if you want it to be successful, there has to be passion. And so learning to trust that passion and searching for the thing that makes you excited and makes you happy is important. Two, I guess in a business context, it's important that you are providing value. At the end of the day, business is about value. It's not that complicated. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to have success, you just need to provide value to your customers. The more value you provide, the more money you make, the more success you'll have. So you need to find a way to combine what you're passionate about with what can provide value to other people. Some other common things that I talk about, common themes, are expect to suck at the start. Mm-hmm. So no matter what you're doing at the start, you will suck and you will fail, and that's fine and that's normal. When you first start learning English, you're terrible. You know, when you first start trying to play soccer, you are terrible. You know, or football, I guess, Brazil. Well, we have a rivalry. I'm half Italian, and you know, World Cup season comes around. Italy, Brazil is always. Be
prepared. Be prepared, brother. Be prepared.
You guys have won it 5. We've won it 4 times.
I'm not saying you need to expect to suck, but just telling you to be prepared.
Wow. Only expect to suck at the start. Okay. But it's important. Like, I think people just give up too soon. People give up too early. You know, when you get on this on a ski hill and you go down the hill, or snowboarding, you know, you're gonna fall 1,000 times. It's part of it. And people expect to get immediate results, and it's really the sustained effort that keeps you going. And the only reason you're going to do that is because you're passionate about it. Like, the only reason why you will stick with doing something that you suck at is because you love it and you want to get better at it.
Okay.
So those are some important ones. What else do I talk about? Guys, who's watching live? Come on, people watching live. What do I usually talk about? We're doing this in a live stream. You got people watching.
Right.
Let's give it a shout out to them. Let's go, guys. Give me something. What do I talk about? While they're thinking about it.
Evan, I can share with our students the other 2 rules, but before finishing, because we're getting to our end here, is why your one word is believe, and what message can you leave to our students who want to speak English?
Yes, okay. So I believe everybody has one word that defines them, and mine is believe. For me, believe breaks down into passion, having passion for what you're doing, self-confidence, and conviction to follow through, to keep going, commitment. That's how belief breaks down for me. And I think we all have something that we stand for, and you need to figure it out. That's what the book is all about. But you need to figure it out so that you can start to live a life on purpose and not just be reacting to the world around you, where a lot of people don't design a life and a business with that degree of purpose. They may know what they're doing, like in terms of what product or service they want to sell, but not the types of people that they want to be around, the impact that they want to have. And so figuring out what you stand for should be at the start. Somebody was saying, Zeno, a loyal fan, was saying you should add believe in one of your 10 rules. And it's true, it is, but for me, believe is above everything else. Like, all of that stuff, all of the rules make up believe for me. Belief sits on top of everything. And in terms of, what was the question? A lesson about English for your students?
You know, why your one word is believe, and what message can you leave to our students who want to speak English, who are learning English?
So practice, like anything else, you need to practice. Having a strong why is super important. Why do you want to learn English? Why is it so important to you? If it's just to get a job, or just because, you know, your family says you should, that's not a really strong motivator. You need to have something that you really feel excited about. And then the fastest way to pick up anything is immersion. So the more time you can spend doing it, the better off you're going to be. I mean, we're fortunate here. I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto. It's one of the most diverse cities in the world. Everybody's an immigrant almost here. So there's languages, you know, from all over the place. So we're used to communicating with people who their English is not perfect. Almost everybody's English is a second language. But like coming to Canada or traveling and spending 3 months or 6 months in an English-speaking country will force you to get better. If you can't afford that, then watching videos or reading books. But again, the content has to be interesting. And I remember an example, thinking about Tim Ferriss, who wrote the 4-Hour Workweek. And he was trying to learn Japanese and was having a really hard time trying to memorize all the symbols and figure out Japanese. And the way he did it was he was really interested in learning one of the martial arts from Japan. And so he picked up a book in Japanese about the martial arts of Japan, and then that forced him to learn those words. But he would do it because he was interested in the subject matter. So just like we talked about Steve Jobs, if you love entrepreneurship, you can watch the videos. And if somebody says something that you don't understand, you're forced to try to figure it out, because I really want to know what Bill Gates just said there. I'm so frustrated that I don't understand that word, that you're going to go and try to figure it out. Where if it was just some boring speech, you're not going to care. You're not going to put in the effort. And so making sure that you are consuming content, whether it's video or audio or written, that you feel really connected to, that you really, really, really want to learn, because that desire and passion will get you through the uncomfortableness of the work that has to get done so you have the comprehension.
All right, Evan, thank you. Guys, we're coming to an end here, but before ending, I'd like you guys to see that little book that is there, Your One Word. Our students, I'm just ordering my book as soon as I finish this call. I'm going to order my book, and I highly recommend you to order Your One Word book too. My one word is gratitude. Evan's one word is believe. We would like to know, what is your one word? You train your reading, you train your writing abilities, and I'm sure that book will add a lot of value to your life. Evan, thank you very much, bro. Before finishing, I would like you to say, see you next class to all our students.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next class.
All right, continue to believe in whatever your one word is. See you next class.
Love it. Thanks, Felipe.